Right. So welcome back, Rachel.
Thank
you so much for
you.
joining us again
Thanks
on Fame
for
with
having
Firuzi.
me.
Pleasure, pleasure. So for those who have missed our previous episodes, I am here with Rachel. She is the author of one of the books that she's currently publishing. I think it's a series of books of 14 episodes or something.
Yeah, right now I have 17 plans.
17 planned.
Yeah.
And so I'll pass the mic on to you for you to introduce yourself and tell the audience what the book is all about.
Sure.
For those who've missed our previous episodes, please, I would urge you to go and have a look at it. We've discussed some very interesting tips and characters that will help you in your real life with your kids, with your family, with yourself. And so you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Yes, so my published name is Firuzi, and I started a series of books that basically help kids be on the outside who they actually are on the inside, and getting rid of that gap between between that connection. So the first book is called The Cancer, and it basically encourages children and anybody, I say children ages 0 to 92
0 to 92.
basically, not
With
excluding
no
those above it. It's just one of my favorite Christmas songs. And basically encouraging them to ask themselves why they feel that they can't do something, or in other instances, why you feel like you fear something, which is one of the other books to come out.
Right.
And really start asking those questions and digging down deep inside.
Right.
So then you can come up with the reasons behind it and get past that.
Right.
So it's helping kids get past these blocks that we all develop. And I do believe that I heard that a lot of that is developed by the age of 7.
Interesting.
So targeting this age group between 5 and 10, at that age, kids can read the book.
Right.
It's colorful for their engagement. It's fun. But at the same time, it's targeting them at a very critical time in their life where these blocks are developing and becoming part of who they are and how they process them.
Right. So one of the things I really liked about you publishing is because I have a 10-year-old son myself, and the art of reading is completely a dying art. There's all the electronic gadgets and all the online games and everything that children are exposed to today, I think right from the time when they're literally born, maybe a year old.
Yeah.
And I think that's the easy way for parents, right? So I did that myself because I was a working woman. I had no time for my son and I didn't know what to do with him when he had time. So the easiest way to deal with him was to give him the iPhone and say, watch your nursery rhymes. So even nursery rhymes, for example, he grew up listening and watching on the iPhone versus when we used to read books.
Yeah.
So my question is, as an author, you've taken a very bold step of actually publishing a book.
Yeah.
How do we inculcate this habit of, this modern day generation audience to actually read a book versus put your phone down, stop your game and read a book?
Yeah.
So it's a very bold decision you've taken to actually publish a book in this day and age where it's full of technology.
Yeah.
So can you tell us what drives you and how do we then, I would love to have some tips on how can I get my son to actually read a book like this, and
yeah, I mean, it's a good question, and I think one that all of us parents struggle with. So I have an almost 12-year-old who I cannot get her to put down a book. Loves it.
Really?
I love reading myself.
All right.
And then I also have my 6-year-old who I struggle to get her to read. She just does not like to.
Right.
So I have both situations in my house. So I'm not sure I have the right answer, but but I think what it is, it's about, it's maybe not necessarily just about the books. It's about the story behind it. It's creating that fantasy. And this is, what's fascinating is if you look at the imagination of children, so the level of imagination on a scale like 1 to 100 is like 95. By the time that we're adults, it's like maybe 10%.
Right, correct.
So we kill our own imagination as we go through the schooling education process.
Right.
And that's why it's important to get reading into kids as they're young. So reading to them before they go to bed, creating the fantasy worlds with them, allowing to engage into these characters. And that's why I decided, I mean, first of all, I love books. So I wrote the book because I love it. But that's why, for me, it's not just a book, it's the world. It's a whole new world.
Right.
And creating a concept around that world and building it up. There's so many different points to it. So ideally, I'm going to have toys to go with this. I'm going to have an animated series.
Like a Disney World of your own.
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly. That'd be brilliant, the Trickster World.
The Trickster World.
Love the idea. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
And then also, like apps and things like that. So I don't think that reading needs to die down completely. It's about creating the world around it.
Right.
And some of the best movies that are out there right now came from books.
Right, yes.
And that's what also...
The Harry Potters and stuff.
Exactly. Harry Potter, you go to the entire Catching Fire, I'm thinking the Hunger Games series,
Right.
All of those different ones, they came from books. And so it's about creating that whole circle You know,
Right.
it's so that you can end up saying, okay, great, we have this book, turns into a movie, turns into games, turns into toys, and then you get the, so it's like the whole
Right.
circle of everything, and it's that book that creates it. And every time, I mean, I remember when I was a child, there were certain books that when I entered into them, I became part of that world.
Yes.
It didn't work with all books, but with some of them it
Some
did.
of them. I think the ones that you resonate with, because right now my son is into superheroes.
Oh, yeah.
So, and he's all into this Fortnite grade. So he keeps thinking, oh my God, even like before he goes to bed, how can I accomplish that level? So if I was the hero and if I had to do that level and if I had to overcome the challenge, how do I overcome? I knock him in the head and say, start focusing on your studies rather than on your game. Because he wants to become a gamer when he grows up. So
Brilliant.
Not really advice.
No, it's brilliant, you know, because it keeps the imagination. So it's about linking to your studies. Okay, great. In order to become a gamer, what do you need to do? You need to know math because you need to do programming.
Right. No, he doesn't want to do the back end. He just wants to sit and play games. And I said, you're not going to make any money. How are you going to support your family? So we come from the old school of thought where you have to have a 9-to-5 job and have a salary at the end of the month
Yeah.
if you want to be happily married and if you want to support your family.
And that's exactly where, you know, you have this cultural and the reality.
Right.
So it's, you know, there's a lot of studies now saying, you know, if you're able to follow your passion and you're able to really pursue what it is that your heart desires, you're going to find a way to make it successful and find a way to make money.
Right.
Because you know that you have to have money in order to do that.
Right.
You will.
Right.
So, you know, with your son, if he wants to be a gamer, great, but it's, you know, in order to play the games, you have to create the games so you can make them better. So
Right.
if you enter into his world
Right.
and support him in the way that he wants to do it, but you make sure that he's doing it in a way that it is also...
My way of doing it. Or the right way of doing it.
Well, but here's the question though. Why is your way the... Sorry, I'm gonna challenge you here, right?
Yes.
Why is your way the right way?
Because I'm the mother, I know what's best for him. I think that's the answer our parents give us, remember?
Yeah, go back to one of our previous episodes. You know, you had a conversation about that. So, yeah. So, but, you know, that's what I learned, actually, with my daughter.
You're right.
So it's my oldest daughter, my first and only child. I think
Right.
she was about 2.
Right.
And we're in the car. And she's like, Mom, you're playing. And she could say like 3 words at that point. So she's a little, so around 2. And like, okay, she can say 3 words. So she'll see anything, she'll call it play. I'm like, yeah, honey, sure, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
There was a plane.
Oh, okay.
The next time she said it again, didn't see anything. And then I realized there was a plane.
Oh.
And I started challenging myself. I started realizing that just because my 2-year-old is saying something that I can't see doesn't mean that it's not